Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome out to Wide Gaming. How is everybody doing? So today we are doing a quick video on the Warlords of New York and everything that we know so far, and what we can expect to see in the on launch on the 3rd of March, which isn't too far from now. That is next week. I am super excited. If you haven't checked it out already, I have done the 2 missions that lead up to Warlords of New York, which are on Coney Island. So before you watch this, maybe go check them out, because there are a few little bits of gameplay in this video from Coney Island. So if you haven't already seen it, go check that out and then come straight back. But for today, what we're going to go over is just what you need to know, really. What's coming, what the changes are, and how it's all going to work. So if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. There's loads of Division 2 content coming on Warlords of New York. But with that being said, let's jump straight in and have a look at what we can expect to see. So this update coming out on the 3rd of March, and basically the whole idea of the story is Arakina has released an enhanced type of the virus in Lower Manhattan. He has performed an attack on basically Division HQ, and he has got 4 agents with him. Now there are 5 main missions and 8 side missions. Unlike before, these side missions and main missions will all tie in together to bring you a bit more of an in-depth story. And from what I could tell and what I've seen so far, what you'll have to do is take out the 4 agents before taking out Kina, and I think that's quite cool. You know, it's sort of like a command structure, and you have to work your way up, which I quite like the idea of that. So the 4 enemies that you have to take down, they've all got different skill sets, which is quite cool. So it's like different bosses each time, and what you get for defeating those is an extra skill yourself, which is really good. I quite like the idea of that. Instead of just getting some gear, you know, bits like that, like you normally would, you'll get different skills. So you've got a shock trap, a hollow decoy, which is going to be really good. The shock trap basically just traps enemies, and you can link those together to trap multiple enemies. You'll also get sticky bombs. They're coming back, which is wicked. One of the sticky bomb variants as well has like a flamethrower attached to it. So if you ping someone with that sticky bomb, as he's running round, he's setting everyone else on fire, which is really cool. I quite like that. And also, as I was just about to say, the hollow decoy, which is really good. I don't think it'll work. I don't know whether it'll work that well, to be honest. It depends. But it just pulls back enemy fire to a different location, which could be really helpful. You know, switching positions, things like that. If you're against higher level enemies, it'll be quite good if it works anyway. But I don't know. Don't know how the enemies, maybe elite enemies, will see through it. I'm not sure. It might only be useful on lower level enemies, but we'll find out anyway. Yeah, it'll be quite cool. What I will say with New York and the actual story, once you've gone to New York, you cannot go back to DC until you've completed the main story. So don't try and go there thinking you can go back, because it won't work. Once you're in New York, you are there until you've finished it. Once you've done the main story, however, you can go back to and from New York and DC as you please. But just keep in mind that once you've gone there, there's no coming back, not until it's finished. The map here, as you can see, is quite large compared to, well, it's a DLC, so I wasn't really expecting it to be that big. So with that brings obviously a lot of exploration, which is going to be really good. Also, the really cool thing I quite like is it takes you from level 30 to level 40. If you haven't got the Warlords of New York DLC, you will be able to increase your gear score to 515, but you will not be able to get to level 40. So, with it going to level 40, and if you are interested in the game and you haven't actually played Division 2 and just want to jump straight into New York, by purchasing the Warlords of New York pass, you will get an instant level 30 boost. So if you don't want to do the story in DC and you want to jump straight to New York, that's fine, you've got the little pass there. I would personally, you know, just start off in DC and just do a load of bits there. So what's the point in buying the game and skipping everything, you know? But I would assume there'll be a few new players coming in from maybe Division 1 that haven't played the second one. Because there's a lot of new changes, a lot of new things that are going to bring people in, which I think will be really good. So, with that being said, your weapons and gear will pretty much be invalid Level 31 is basically more powerful than gear score 515. From what I've seen, all your gear score that you've got now and all the gear is pretty much going to be useless, which I can understand, you know. But all your exotics, things like that, you won't be able to upgrade them from level 30 to level 40, not upon launch anyway. A bit later on down the line, they're planning on bringing that in, but all the exotics and things like that you already have you'll be able to farm for them at level 40. So, you know, instead of just upgrading it, you've just got to farm for it again, which is, it's alright. It gives you something to do, I suppose. Something a little bit different. Getting higher level weapons rather than just maxing out your stuff that you've already got, which would be quite nice, actually having to go through certain things again, which I think will bring a bit more replayability to it, which I'm quite excited about. I mean, the main reason I pulled back from Division 2 was I was a bit bored. I didn't really have much to do. With new updates and things like that, I've started to come back now a little bit, and I'm really excited. Just purely, the only thing that brought me back is going to New York. That was the main selling point for me, which I assume for a lot of people will be the same, really. But going back to New York, hopefully this will pave the way for survival to come back. With Division 1, I spent countless hours just on survival. They haven't given anything official out really saying that it's going to come back, but obviously going to New York, that would be really cool. I would like to see that. Well, yeah, it's going to be good. With the new update as well, there will be coming a lot of new gear sets, exotics, brands, which is quite good. And there's also a new stat system to help you better understand the level of your gear upon just basically looking at it. So you haven't got to go through everything. You can just have a quick look and say, oh, right, cool, that's good. Also, what you will be able to do now is store talents, which is really good. You haven't got to hold on to all that stuff that you want just in case you want to re-roll it onto something later on. You can now take the talent from the item and store that. So it just basically relieves your stash. You haven't got to hold up so much stuff, which is going to be nice and helpful. Not too sure if there's going to be a cap on that, but you know, either way, it's still good. It's still going to be nice. I'm quite excited about that. At the moment, I've not really got too much back into the talents and things like that, but I'm going to have to go over all of that. So hopefully, by the time the DLC actually comes out, I will be bang on it and know what I'm doing with all those talents and things like that. Because I know I got into it all on when I was playing the game, but I forgot about that, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's going to be good. And also, there's a revamp of the Dark Zone coming, which is going to be good. And Hunters will be coming back in New York as well, which is nice. I don't know if they'll just be exclusive to the Dark Zone, and I'm not too sure if we're going to have a new Dark Zone in New York. If we do, that would be really good. I'd quite like that. That'd be cool. I'd definitely be in that. I'm not a fan of the Dark Zones in DC at all. Just don't like the way they work, to be honest. I'm not a fan. As I'm sure a lot of people will be the same, but it'd be nice just to have that, you know, as well. With your levels as well, there are enemy scales, so they will scale to your level. This is even in DC, so regardless of what activity you choose, it will always scale to your level. So you can do things in any order you want, which is really good. You can still play missions with other players that aren't at the same level as you, and it will just scale the power to the whole overall group. And once you've reached the level cap as well, all activities in DC and New York will also be at level 40 with you, which is quite cool. I'm quite excited for that. Going after Keener and all of his guys, you'll be able to do campaign missions, which like I've said. You can explore New York it's got its own little bits everywhere, and also you've got control points, supply drops, patrolling enemies. There's a whole load of other activities. There's containers still spread around, collectibles and things like that, which are quite good. Everything that you do though will scale with your level, like I've already mentioned. Instead now of your supply caches and things like that, there's a new progression system. What you get now are points, and these points you can invest into your character himself, just to make him a bit more skilled, things like that, past end game. So instead of just getting a box full of stuff, you can now upgrade your character furthermore without leveling him up, which is really cool. I like that idea. It's more more of a proper RPG style type thing, which is quite good. I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be really nice. Because, you know, instead of just getting those caches all the time, you can actually upgrade your character and make him a little bit better, which is very interesting, and I'm excited for that. And finally, one more thing. Towards the end of the Warlords of New York, once you've finished that, there are a few new things coming just to keep the replayability there a little bit, and they are what are known as seasons. Now, there are 12 weeks in each season, and each week you will have a new set of tasks, things like that, to do. And what you will get for those tasks are apparel, things like that, gear. You can compete in leagues, which is really good. And obviously, with each level that you do, your rewards will increase. Now, what you can do, typical, you can pay to have a better set of gear given to you past each level. It's like a sort of season pass type thing, which I'm personally not a fan. What you'll also get is, you know, like manhunts and things like that. You go and hunt down other enemies, and you get extra XP and things like that for just sticking to it each week, and better rewards, which is really good. So hopefully that'll keep the replayability there and keep people glued on for a little bit longer, which is going to be nice. I am really excited for it, and I will be doing another video on a few little things you can do to prepare for Warlords of New York. But for today, guys, that is everything. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I hope it's helped. And make sure you subscribe for more Division content. We'll see you again in the next one. Peace!